week's time na abaye throwback Thursday ampaya ebidwa mamini kan enka answer na meko Ivan hono na ya twetwe enkomo mini kan enka o say exactly 10:30 first enipa 10 a ebidi kan afre number na eda wo screen no eso no active mount huge discount huge discount dwumadie bi awudi bia there was a yankase eba waso ye be fa videos ye be fa pictures ne ebo ho da wi edema wo there was a invite o now so be fi ha na wo be kan wadwuma ho asem ade bia wo ye bia was a wo bo ho da wi bia no active tv ye mount huge discount eti no ahye ne so e de amame 10:30 on the dot for number no share ne so na fa to ofra first 10 people and ye this promotion ma auto so 11 a unya bi Michelle be the first to call na emphasize achede no entumi emfa emao so na active media active brains consultancy services at the 6 months at the esi hono ma ye be ma 90% intensive media practical training open say enche bia na classes na studies no ba abesha say ntimi amato forms na mo kama koma emfa ntomo yem so na mo afi na ba be fa forms no ya teso 50% discount 50 Ghana cedis 50 Ghana cedis intimation be file registration forms and as admission forms ni bi na onso hu said the AC echo school fees ni so the hey eda form boko medical kase bibia na ya chembi no dada enti offer number na eda screen so na active media ene empenifo entwetwen komo na ejimu nchiremu ahodo nyina tutumrika o say broadcast journalism newspaper reporting and editing newspaper writing ni na bi graphic designing camera handling lighting and MCR and impo makeup and our person we soon be a fans and church man who be active media in collaboration with active brains consultancy services and this are training no to me every wo fanaba no na every mu bia na bibia so konkan emfa emma yankoma twetwe no ye ba abesha ase na meka o say Ivan Kyei innocent aba beka yin say the medical eka no Avraham ben Moshe and so enje bia onam kwa so aka to enebrel na wotumi edura no so aba be join the discussion no na ede nkomo twetwe ni na etumi ato aso ede ama they say me say ye hwe the building of the National Cathedral sika ewurem ene ehun sensem nyina sanso so ena Paul Adom Ochre ono so ne nsem bi ode beto abonten ebehwem kakra na eno echi no Togbe Afede say eno ni news a trend ni sika a chese wa refund ede ama the government of Ghana and as a Bank of Ghana no ni nyina no ye behwe ho ensensem ewofia na ene one funny thing ene say Jumedie no me nkomo twetwen with Ivan ene Avraham ne ba bisia ye wo picture bi ewo ho enye just picture exams bi a suapon for a whole university for bi etumi esua ye de sa picture na ebeto so intimisel tamuchuku na ni nyina echi no ye hu se de AC echo ha mamika ma the brain wizard the master truth speaker. My name is Arno Clement, the youth advocate. There be am say truth will always defeat lies. Mama call Ivan Kyei innocent. Can make us say Avraham Kyei innocent. Say Avraham Ivan. I tell you. Is it somebody I know? On so do Avraham.
Unfortunately na okodi Madrid the chess and ko babasa.
I think Avraham
ba say babasa na okodi Madrid the chess.
And then
also agi Champions League into oto the bia wasum sa. On next year ba.
O me so me buru asem so say me Chelsea. But as far as the truth is concerned, it was see the answer for Nkomo.
Sure.
Aba na mo akwaba.
Yeah, menu amejo so.
Dem bia boko there.
Oh, nyame adom.
Dem bia me say before say be Nkomo no. Overview of the situation on the ground. The whole state, the whole country, how it's been right. Just 2 minutes. How do you see Ghana?
Yeah, I think you see, but now say the cancer of Messi Huna. I think I will even be narrowing the whole scope, like say the city and narrow no. But in the time I try to say me put me home into the shoes of many Ghanaians out there, because and then there are several ways you can gauge the way a Ghana for see who the economic situations, various social media platform, follow media discussions, and when a man for interact here, clearly a child said there is a certain veil of desperation, economic veil of desperation that is hovering around this particular country. The core on Sanka just said, Nemo Bia aye, Ejina Facon. the command for expecting say a bank will put in certain initiatives at least. Like I said, or might be any troubles. But leadership, the whole essence, they say every day beyond that sorry, or preoccupation, they say all finding solutions to problems. Problem be on a critique, but the very moment I watch your tone was a man a leader, you don't run away from it. It
becomes your problem to solve.
Every blessed day, your job is to solve problems of others. And I will always find a way out among for assisting them. So if we get to a point and that's a priority of people who have entrusted political power and the whole estate into their hands. No, they are rather pursuing what are called perverted priorities. Priorities are, and yet they hear no mumu yet, but I dear bema more comma. Nedi omo peno omo aniswade hu no omo personally no eba bo omo no, that is what they are pursuing. Then the child say o man no a sinity ase
okotre kwari ni mokwa aboa ponche ne de nkoti hu fifiri say ye man panya kwari ne kwa kutire na say so ne da ya taxpayers money de nketim say yeah started with the building of the National Cathedral and the hula balloons around it. Now the first one was 25 million Ghana cedis. You release here without the consent of Parliament, without audit passing through auditing through the Auditor General Department and all that. First 25 million Ghana cedis. You had about a seed money. In building the National Cathedral. The second was 32 million Ghana cedis. Say Ajayi, David Ajayi and Associate, or from MP Consultancy Services. Nina also has to do with building the National Cathedral. Now, what is in? And it's 142 million Ghana cedis. Essentially, you see that you releasing or one penny releasing 2020 October. You get okay way sky in Abuma. National Cathedral now one penny catch and say, and your taxpayers' money. And all the babesi do not one declare the source of the fund. Now almost 200 million Ghana cedis. And as you see, a room. What is your take?
I think, sir, it's quite unfortunate. You see, Makase say Obi das or no say Osi Cathedral. May I met no problem because as a Christian, I'm a Christian. Obi say Osi Cathedral. Why not? Baby Obi see me yakosum ya media and Kenya me problem. But at the point of mind, we decided say person Osi Cathedral no. Especially in a democratic dispensation now, it happened to be a secular state like this particular country, no? That must be an opinion of majority of the people in the country have agreed that at a particular point in time, you value all our priorities, and at this material time, no, cathedral and a priority. And to say yen united, the secure question na see yesia, no problem. And to see yesia, and no problem. But you get to a point where a minor economic veil, desperation, and kasa. I dear friend who here attitude of mine. I dear friend a car, men of mine, and I never make any any poco musi so basic to the man of my yo. Chrono chichi dear ya bo my sicker yina China Ghana for at this point. Ya kasa ye caught the capital market crack of Bobo Singer, or who say DNA GHANA Ghana penum so no crofo more or be a camera more here more by Bobo Singer then. And I'm saying government call capital market na sika kura yenye binintino. We are being forced to tax the ordinary people na ahio mono say the E11 na say for all in a bit to raise fund aye be chichiro man no e che say sika sem ehho akwa atwe ni nyina chi no bosia sengu ye tiri so ye tua every year bia no debt services sika ye bosia na ya age no ensi hu na ye the service no kwa ye over 50 billion Ghana cedis per year. 50 billion no, and the 50 billion in Bosiana Yabon, Yanfan Kutia, and Sihuna, every year be to 50 billion Ghana cedis, which is almost half of entire revenue of the whole country, no, you generated in a year. And that is the situation you're finding you. And the president say, or no, as an individual. As a young couple, also basic cathedral man, a cathedral now, you know, and a personal, your friends a promise and one make he's not going to use the public resources and answer for the baby or no one can say now so for and what's in time as software to rule or more dear anymore, and they are doing all these things. Then your bedroom stage, yeah, some no one penny a software now, what can I say in your mind seeker, and yet they yes, I dear no, and I'm a sumasi one. I don't know who's in the cathedral when young couple are sorry dying. omo na mesuma se de omo nsa akobo oman sikam Ghana has its open physical from the consolidated fund. Won't mean for it doesn't matter who you are. A bra parliament anywhere. You need an explicit approval of parliament and sana udon sa for my musica. But Enam say Kufuado, O Munipa non for Nipanya na the catcher say he's not a Democrat, but rather he's an imposter who is fronting a democratic rule in Tino. Onwa nkasa issue executive order for Omansika 142 million
a seed
money. Sikana nyana maame de ona nyana papa de e na nyana yere de e na onkodi pa na okonya ye me no ye sika e na onwa nkasa ade ne nsa akobọ sa sika no watamama sa asofo ye amotwa no ho hia. They know very well that particular money is a stolen money. Ona mo de kokko shame. Eno achi ansi ho a wase akofa another 32 million e dey akoma sa J
and associate.
And you know the relationship between him or the president as to when a European tender that buying a competitive tender, because competitive tendering is the default position of our procurement law.
Sure.
It means that all person would idea move here. Catch a company to no money now offer more bid.
Sure.
After reviewing, you know,
there you go for
so
the best.
So we use so sourcing crowd. There must be a definitive reason. And say what me say none obi anim ho hwe there and say ye tue say sika 32 ya koma obi. Then another company, friend is a rebate company, so no, another 25 million and your time at the Kakomo. And this is the no. At the blind side of Ghanaians, I free a president at the Nisika Cathedral, not knowing say on my sika over 200 million and as I'm ready tam and they say the Kwako Cathedral, I Ghana for aware.
You're linking it to common sense. Some minute Ivan. Ivan. Now you're too susu, minumi too susu.
Yeah.
Now be my promise a year Peter. Say ebia next 2 years me man sika bi na me no susu no me mo wa mane ya to susu na eduru ba bia na matam Peter buy na because of say my promise Peter anti na matam me no mi susu no wa bra woni awe me mo wa mane na me de ama Peter will you say there is something wrong with my mindset?
No muni pa mfa nipa nya hwe, and that is Akufo-Addo in the uhuna sana. That is the kind of person I am, because I address aban we was respect for the people of this particular country, in as much as the people don't agree with you, no, at least just involve them. Mahu members of parliament, Mahu Okujato on several platforms, and several other members of parliament complaining said the government did not come for parliamentary approval. So if MPs are even complaining, how much more other people? It means that parliament as an institution, one of the big arms are upon which the whole democratic framework, is parliament, without recourse to parliament, and you see, the funny aspect of this whole thing is that if you look at where the world has evolved to, where we are and where we are going at, cathedral in a national affair, what sense does it make? And then you have some cheap minds out there who justify, say, oh, Oko France or more cathedral, Oko UK more cathedral. You see, people are so ignorant to the sense. I mean, Oko Air France cathedral is where Notre Dame now. Recently, it was built somewhere around 1143 no Moshe here. The old days. Somewhere no mood, before the French Revolution, now Omomudi France, so either the Roman Catholics, either your friends said the aristocrat, the elite, and the more the first estate, the second estate, and then you have the commoners. Commoners in the any palm and form. And the first economy kotwa ba sikani back on to a bar, ne vote back on the here for 5 vote ye pet, which means a commoners no form on your share. So when the Roman Catholic were ruling France that time, they had that luxury to build church, because a minor is being ruled by a church, and they can do anything. Oko Italy, it happened at some point in time. It happened. Oko France, Oko Spain, and then Oko Nyasa, this Sagrada Familia ne on, some big your friend is saying cathedral nesi hono. Ninjina, because the country at that time was under monarchical rule, and this yes I him for now for the Roman Catholic rule and as a form. And that particular time, no, they had that luxury. And this all had dynasty were not design architecture no more but what you are maintaining at this point. What they are doing is that Notre Dame quite recent dance and now tourist your friend is a place a man for call. So ubuki every year biana nyahwe nipa 12 million in a that particular place won't you either 73 or 50 euros. So you can imagine the amount of money.
Sure.
Oko your friend is saying Spain is the same thing. Cathedral is one a tourist way. Even movie producers and so they go and pay and they shoot a lot of movies there. It is why most of the American movies are or more year movie in that particular your friend is a cathedral now Spain. No? You can go and search about a lot of movies have been shot at that particular place because a tourist more for revenue. What I say. So anything I cover by. But this modern time no, say what is obese so down. Not either a church. And now say yes, a church in
a church.
But at this point, say mine
it's in a money machine.
People are investing in technology, people are investing in schools. People are investing in your friend said businesses and say you know now the whole preoccupation of this particular myopic government and say yes see cathedral and yakobom paye amanyankopon ababaye den opo mind ba kon omosum nyame a I think say Ghana ka ho we worship God in our individual ways and there are churches all over me tell me a Catholic every inch bia be move across Accra bia there is a Catholic church there and minimum sorry I walk but I know say baby asol bia is all over even one man church and say for even obinim ne obofo no mba na no that individual
branches
look at churches or multi put
do Sunday crowd there time Sunday school dem
exactly so we churches are one person like obofo obinim ononko etimi esisi ho a identity as a president so see cathedral ma or you say
oh man
nyankopon a ontumi nsi
president akwhye ne boa
yes
na uni nyina so na wo shebo
that is the problem. That is the problem. So this whole justification in as for doesn't make sense. That is what I'm saying. Say Ghana for no, we are being held at a gunpoint to finance the delusions of Akufo-Addo. He is having his delusions. Say okay, oni nyankopon ahye, but who gives a damn about oba oni nyankopon ahye? Why na original ho? So what ko go and pay. But some of Ghana for sika just to go and finance your personal delusions. I think that is quite unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Say nipa no mo twa no ho ahye. You see, one person that I have respect for so much is your friend say Papa no di Pentecost church I no. Well enlightened person then as for no following a church, you know, is one of the fastest growing church in this particular country. Or individuals or masters of this sansem who were nim. Knowing very well says Sikana nipa no de mama modi sisadia no your mind sika or mind and way. So if you're a person of conscience, do still have to follow all these things. But because you're the Yankopona kata yenim, and I yafunu and I yasum nintino, and I yedina yabani abegina ha, and I yena yamwana yen senior Mia Soradine. Who is against the building of Nyamia Soradine? Individual churches people do contribution. I contribution collection and I say for them sometimes yearly basis you buy for there say you see Nyankopon Sorodine. But the problem is that Ghana is a secular state at this time, no. Or mind you can say Christopher need this or another way need so. But you can say you are that particular liar. I'm one of the person who spoke against say you say you sponsor Muslims or munko your friend saying Mecca. Because me free says answer me and say so because on minor cannot be financing some of these things because when you do that a time will come. What is that, Christopher? So we are they are all citizens. Exactly, citizens. Muslims will come, and then other people will also come, and there will be financing programs. But if you already say programs, you should have your money. Sure. So who said most of the problems facing the ordinary people, housing deficit, unemployment challenges, in solve. And no. Now what time we didn't come back and not banner the video. But because of cheap politics, we take state money and we finance all these so that is what we do. And the SCAC Cathedral or China, not a Muslims also more per national mosque state sponsored or state financed mosque. You can't deny them. Then another group will come. They will also tell you, so okay, you here national shrine. Some mine is a secular state will be entitled to worship whatever that they want. That is what I'm saying. Say you don't push us into that particular arena. Say presidency of Osi Cathedral. So for now, they can solicit fund. And I say, oh, there are a lot of ways they can do. I am fire and sank about my sikkim. But we started by saying, say, baby are judges, judges than you see less than 5 years old. Judges than you see in an expensive area in Accra. like cantonment, or you can imagine say the Dimbo city and president without approval from anybody out of his own whatever just started say he started pulling down judges. Obu dina tuogu and your mind sikasia ko high hotel na dan so montinam no ba besi cathedral. Come on.
Hotel individual bi nyansem wo hu say e so be ban kwa so chena odi ni sika asie.
Yes, yabu aban dan ya tuogu aban dan nyo na CEO. Aban dan okobu tuogu akohan dan am say e ba besi cathedral. You see, people who are ruling us are behaving like children, and that is the problem. They are not thinking right, and sometimes I don't know what come and for say na mranti abawe mu ade na say for, but when you see say mpanimfo who are supposed to be reasonable person, mpanimfo mo no mo see e na so mo akọ school akese na say for no, when they are behaving like children, they are not rational, they are not thinking straight. Sometimes you have to be worried, you understand? And ya this school na chichiri ya ho na say oko US na kofa Harvard na we egu ewura owie wo anum na wunim nyansa what I say. Common sense is enough incentive for us to realize this whole thing that Kufuor and his people are driving us into absurdity. And crucial things that affect the ordinary Ghanaian. Market woman and Yeman Koye and Ranti Omunye Jumanye. Youth unemployment at the and the university who free Abontimba. Even Yasuku nuclear design no prior problem. And right now who say university I say I'm for I draw Kambu or show pass. That is the psyche. Now obey Koyasa Anyama, we need money do what you call from grandpa so. What I say, Nepal free school, but now I didn't be any team. And some these are structural deficits that you expect at least as a minor. You make some conscious efforts, you fix it from a place. And then countries are investing massively in technology. If you go to China, they are the leading country in artificial intelligence. And at the early stage, you know. They are teaching them how to, your friends say, coding, and then I say for them. Sure. And at 5 years, in 6 years, you teach them how to do coding because it's the basics. Go into technology at whatever level. That is what this guy started in South Africa and Sana or move to Canada, then back to US. Elon Musk, and then what they are able to do because oh yeah, crack no your video game not $500 and then money motivation on the tour. So I started with coding, and then I say for them. What are we teaching our children here? No motivation. What are we teaching them? Are they expecting to say a tone no person or bad? Into we are crying, we also radio that are the way no one person no bad and this is what we are now to me no ba yeah by we are saying no bad better and some who sorry from radio morning evening person no bad that job just why people are learning computer and then as if for thinking about the next 50 years next 20 years how a bit you position the world na be so competitive because even the world superpowers there is a competition among them. Russia, China and then America are investing massively in a lot of things or more but look at us, we are not ready to lift a finger to do a thing. School of Technology, or Kwame University, you do right to Kumasi, or more like to bedroom. In as much as they are doing technology, as for common 1 kilowatt of weight crane, your friend saying, they've not been able to create a say, yeah, the power university, say, a co offer, the AI in the what is wrong with us? And these things should be our priority as a president. When you know it is a Zoom school, you should be focusing on fixing and addressing all these things. Now you do, but not say economically, you see that the ordinary Ghanaian is empowered. A branch in your Jumaya and name a Koye Nasa Usi Cathedral at Nipa Kraba also. But this time, a minor, a carmine, a man can say a capremini, a carmine, just Adibia say. Among for we are no movia. Suku samaya basa enkranke to ya na yeti krom ha sei no enkra mo ko school feeding ya say akwara bia in a day ya feeding no 90 pesos na o man nya dam na wo tima 90 pesos akra ha dey na etimi to akra ye man 90 pesos say the whole day na dey but e benya over 200 million say ya dey kwakoto ya dey kosi cathedral at this time cathedral na we are e dey mfaso na baba nyankopon baba solve your problem makacho say we are not ready to think. I am forcing religion. Me say religion na religion. Because if you go to the United States of America, they are very religious. America has a national prayer day. Oko White House, they have a family. Their job is to pray for America. That is all that they do. Under the White House, they have people who are praying for America. quite recently, Trump and started what prayers and praises and worship. The one bomb pie or White House early morning worship and way or more. Your friends say Bible reading, your friends say hour and so forth. He was doing a lot. It just they are very religious. But you see, being religious, you keep it at your heart. Sure. Because it is what makes you who you are. Because so what I'm saying, then you are empty, you are hollow, you are broken. So at least you must believe in something. What I say. So they all believe in something, but they also realize that Nyankopa will not come and provide say 5G Nyankopa may 5G mount. For Nyankopa man until all the way my but ya been say you see ya been nyansa and then yamebe or my ben and yamia kwachire that one be that. Even countries are more Nyankopon like India and as for almost and as for no go and see be companies ma Ghana for ekoko pe biye da bia me ka palace more ho asem okwa they are from India nantwie no mosom they don't believe it, they don't worship God. What I say, but what are we doing this to us? Me say yam fa sa nema no to ncha na yam hu say problems na asan which are confronted with no until so we as a people make conscious effort and adopt some of the ways about either technology, either industrial, either this, you know, we cannot move forward because in Europe development now, because I know who's a Western Europe developer now. At the beginning of 1800, quite recently, Obi survey or quantify before 1800 countries are now economically successful. He ended said China in 1800 no was the most successful country in terms of GDP. But I didn't see I did not 10 year no a 10 year never see Europe because Europe decided that they are going the industrial way. Then when the industrial revolution started, that is when enlightenment took over because they were very religious. Uko UK for instance, lie now who free ban a Christian lie. Obi by any offend Bloody Mary. Okundi pasa because in a bit to ensure say power. To maintaining that particular power. So UK and for they have gone through those transitions for a long time. Sure. Even Bible you cry a King James version and for the king of England, King James. On na sample among for say because of differences na among for no or put two people together. Now you harmonize it or be differences. Yare and console say your Bible the bar or be and they started and they put the Bible together. Say so won't mean so many more than them. When they are the people who translated this particular thing, what I say, they worship God. And you know, we can worship God at our individual level. But because we are weak, because we are uninformed, because we are unintelligent, and because we are weak and we are afraid to face reality, always know we interface everything with God. Because there is no explanation. But I just say issues of wisdom, issues of reasoning can never be eliminated using faith. Okay, we have to be reasonable. Okay,
Alban, let's come to enkophobia or honor, and I say when Nipebia they disagree with these things. Bimokra, sorry, Etia, Kasafa, baby. Some of the journalists are even on that. Paul Adam Oche video be but we know say even USA, the Washington Cathedral, it was funded by donations, not taxpayers' money. Yeah. Now people are against all this. Now in Central Funibia Casa, Paul Adam Oche, Central Nikasi Ukruma, or also so Eddie Nadrin Chebi to me by Yentia no Yaba. If we go on people now. Almost free say no. Was supporting all this agenda. Okay. Producer, a video now. Are you ready? My
National Cathedral is on trial. Why is it on trial? Because we are concerned that in this era, President insists that he made a promise to God, something like that, as they say, and he's putting up a National Cathedral. When the cathedral started, there was a lot of rancor about the location. People said you should go and put it in Pram, you should go and put it somewhere. And you give the first fruits to God. You remember Cain and Abel. That's the first thing that worried me. Have we forgotten the Cain and Abel story? You want to give something to God, you go and take it to some faraway place that is not yet developed. Why don't you go and develop the place, and when the place is prime, you give it to God? You give to God prime. You don't give to God far away. That's the first lesson. And we have to understand, as a country, we are a people with a culture. Nat Bruce said, we are coming from somewhere. And look at the history of our country. Is there not a missing jigsaw in the economic development and the greatness of Ghana? Can't you see that something is missing? What have we not done? The things you're asking finance minister to do to save the city, what haven't we done since 1961? We've done and done and done and done, and it's still missing. The countries that you emulate, the United States of America, the founding fathers of the United States, they dedicated the country to God. Look at how many cathedrals they put in America. You think when they were putting the cathedrals, everybody had eaten? The disciples of Jesus Christ said that, why is he taking the oil? He said, the poor you have with you forever. Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, these guys who made America great, they were great because they committed the states, the union, to the Almighty Father. That's why on their dollar, they write, in God we trust. The God thing is significant. We have a society, a country that is overcome by demonic activity in the earth. We have been waiting for a leader who will set up a place for God. And when we talk about cathedral, they say, oh, God doesn't live in cathedral. Forget about that. Look at the history and look at the way God deals with people. Let me go to the scripture of those who are against this philosophy. Let's start with that. It's in Acts chapter 7, verse 48. It says, however, the Most High does not dwell in temples made with hands, as the prophet says. And this is the scripture that they rely on. They are jumping about, what the cathedral, don't do cathedral. That's what they say. Now, let's get to the details. When we build a cathedral, we are not saying that God will be kept within the four walls of the cathedral. I'll show you another scripture. God cannot be kept in the four walls of any cathedral. God is bigger than any cathedral. He sits in heaven and his footstool is the earth. How do you put a person like that in a cathedral? That's not the purpose. The purpose is to symbolize that our choices of lands, we have reserved it for the worship of Almighty God. When you go to church and you give your offering, are you giving it to God? Does God come and collect the money? If you are in Pentecost, it's God. When you give 50 CDs, is it God who collects the 50 CDs? It is that you are submitting it to God in his house. That is the purpose. So those who are arguing common sense arguments, I have a scripture for you. Those who have been to school and are making common sense arguments, I have a scripture for you tonight. Pay attention, it's going to come. But tonight we are going to establish, as we did before in our Laboni studios, that the National Cathedral will be built as a monument to Elohim so that our country will be saved. Because our country needs salvation. Can't you see? Africa needs salvation. And that salvation is going to come from God. That salvation is not going to come from economics. That salvation is not going to come from statistics. That salvation is not going to come from engineering. That salvation is not going to come from law. The salvation may take the effect of engineering, but the salvation must first of all come from God. The Lord must look upon us with mercy. That's what we need. The Lord must look upon us with mercy. So those of us who have common sense and are on social media and are writing, why is the president giving 25 million and this and that and talking plenty and the cathedral is going to cost you to lose elections? No one will lose elections because he built a cathedral. We will see in this country. We will see it that no one is going to lose election because he dedicated a prime land for God.
Dear Paul, I don't know. Dear Paul, I don't watch your can you say any can say you join home back you kra and son the cathedral and straight up already or supporting the building of the cathedral and Timagana for many who back you or the sort say what common sense who will be any pebi and I be a Jumaka Crebiano and many whom you can once say cathedral and I will see the street and only emphasis say yempo cathedral and ye or say, ye industries and a macro develop it, ye education and a macro develop it, ye the best of engineers and I say engineering and a macro develop it. Name ye National Cathedral. As I say, if we say ye salvation, a salvation about and a macro develop it. Now, baby, I was a bit surprised and say, and yet pram and I say bush baby no was a National Cathedral or say a back room because oh yeah dear menyamia no I the baby a ben e ho na menti ase kaka the establishing na say ye education ye project bi ye industry ye factories and so na ye say here hwe and be makro no develop nemum ye the National Cathedral ye peo or say cathedral and yebesi as I say here kwaje rather than this engineering, this education and all that Ebema Krone developing. Ivan, as I'm we have a whole lot of people also share the same sentiment.
Yes, but I think sometimes I just don't want to dwell my discussion on individuals because this particular guy, I'm not sure is anybody else here wasting time on TV discussing him. Yes, he's entitled to his opinion, but clearly this is a guy, he's like a dog on a leash, working for a particular agenda. So you can understand him with a kind of infantile justification and those silly things he's saying just to justify CAC Cathedral. I think for him there, let us disregard him. But to those who say, Yehia Cathedral, none of us, and the say Cathedral in the papa. For whatever purpose, intended be our opposite with the band. But the argument is, if you look at the prevailing economic circumstances, the priorities of government, cathedral must come nowhere close. And the argument in Yankopon, you see cathedral and son and Yankopon, on a yagates amay. A crana chokra in so many and Yankopona, Ebabet gates amay. How can such characters be on TV and be talking such silly things on TV? You see, America, China, and other countries are fast developing and advancing because they are doing massive investment in technology. We had or mind to say Japan. Japan, at some point in time, the powerhouse of technology. It was one of the booming economies after the Second World War, no, because they invested massively in technology. And the things that they did, no, it put to the country at the world we are now most of them were from Japan. They had their success. China the same way. It is not about say Nyankopon ba be after say we see cathedral and say for no. It is about you as a people, no, investment be na warrior in an area of sciences, technology, and whatever. Say be ya obetumi maximize the potentials of humans. That is all that matters at this point in time. Issues of God, we keep it at our heart. That will make us whole, that will fortify us and make us strong, so that we'll be empowered to do whatever that we do. But you cannot be in a room praying and praying and praying and say our problems will be solved. We don't need a cathedral at this particular point in time.
That's a cathedral and a macro developing. Education, engineering.
That is a senseless thing I have heard from Obia, a supposed journalist, or such a platform. And I wonder why they will give him that particular platform to be selling such nonsense to people. I don't know what their motivations are. But you see, at this point, none of Nippon will make an argument against cathedral. And I can say, Ebia, Obi ko si cathedral by Yankopon and you and so Sir President in his individual capacity, and now next to my sorry in the sorry line. What the Obi alternative is complaining. Yet Hannah me who says Obofu see church kakra. It's not my business. Why should I come and sit here and talk about he's not taking a dime from my coffers. But this is a president also a questionable. And so or time of my and that US analogy he's doing, I think that guy is very pathetic. Because even some of the guys or mention name, most of them were not even religious. They believe in the value of human or putu value on human and the freedom to do everything. What I say. So the fact is other countries are building monuments and those things. I told you where those things started and why it came. Right now, you will mean Europe or my brain. I want to say, I see a time of my cathedral at this time because you see, enlightenment has come to subdue a lot of lies among for attached to religion just to make people weak. And I say, among for timid, I have no kind of question. And we are in an advanced stage. A lot of things have come up. Baby, people begin to question.
Sure.
Countries now advance develop just go there and ask a day and a year there. You first said the foundation Emma China and Abedu Abia or Mababedu. Are you saying that China is where it is today because of cathedral? Because they have reasonable men of conviction who have taken bold steps here. We need to hold the bull by the horn. Enti yang kasano, you take your destiny into our own hands. China started by what people don't know. They say everything China is doing, they are drawing inspiration from the United States of America. Because a lot of Chinese professors now this technology in school in either Harvard or other US universities. State sponsored a lot of people to go to US to learn the Western culture, learn your friends Western technology and stuff, and more imported back to China and trying to make it better. I can mention about 50 Chinese professors who were trained at Harvard. a lot of them went there just to study. And they are now perfect in India. And then when it comes to the technological space, India is one of the leading countries or more a lot. US and most of the tech companies in India, Indians. Why? Because a lot of people came to America. They came and they learned the thing. It is not about the person empire. Now in the end, then they were able to manufacture Huawei and so forth. South Korea, because of an association with America and so forth, when they came out with Samsung as a phone, and one of the leading phones we are saying South Korea, that is where this Samsung phone is coming from. But because of that association, because of Japan, and also during the era of industrial revolution, after the Second World War, the US got bombed, they had no other option than to when America formed an alliance. That is why the industrial, the technological boom started almost to push to where they are today. So it is not about say bomb pie and say way, but over the last 50 to 100 years, bomb pie, nothing is changing.
I saw you change school.
I say it is about time we use our head. But I'm not saying people don't want to do intellectual argument and discussions. As some started, they flip in God, then they will take away the opportunity to ask critical questions. Because you see, I have studied the Bible for 3 good years, and not just for joke. I have studied 3 good years, and if I because I make Bible as I mean the American, but that is not for this particular conversation. I think there will be a year, we need to elevate our thinking beyond those religious frontiers. Now you're religious, and where you move. Now you elevate your thinking above that particular bar. In the face of there, to empower others. How do we create opportunity? Now, if America said, "We see temple." I saw that America will become an attractive destination for everybody. Say, technology, WhatsApp technology, military technology developed somewhere in the 90s, early 90s. Instant text messages. So when the military decommissioned it, then it became commercialized. Then about out in so this technology were developed somewhere in the 90s. Late way. And the military decommissioned, then we commercialize it and come out. There are a lot of things. 4 years, we care for yes a mega puzzle about be a 10. You say what I say? A brand US. A Cuba crisis missile, no. Your friends Russia forces are your friends missiles the Cuba, no. About the US for who here. The almost the plane and I'm sure cameras and no move free so we now cameras and no move from that particular way, no. Mega pixel over 1,000 to over 2,000 megapixel in the 80s.
Sure.
80s. So it's just a technology there, Technology you using, about those times, I feel a military not decommissioning and commercializing. So and then the more, it means that in the next 50 to 100 years, and you have access to. So I think that countries are advancing, they are doing a lot. And unfortunately, they're more doing how you bet me a position in the world now, in the world to come, because the world that is emerging is really going to be very competitive. How do we position ourselves? Yes, sufficient. Individually, we worship our God. But I think that you're turning national affair into God. A time will come, there will be no future for anybody.
Okay, quickly, Togbe Afede Sika. Or they are back to the state. So, according to him, within the 4 years, 2017 to 2020, Council of State, Juma Sataman, Togbe Afede, part of the Council of State. Every month, they are taking over 26,000 Ghana cedis. At the end of the year, so 4 year term, I say, Omonye gratia. Togbe Afede Eba Bontin say, Saisikano, whilst he was a member of the Council of State, or no, or the allowances, or the salaries, or the incentives, until we in the service now, which of course was considered the Council of State Jumano as part-time. It is a we in the Juma, there's no need. He doesn't see any need, say, about that huge sum of money. Dear man say, Wajuma Abaye and Intijuene Fakufi already now people are talking about it to be more bashing, say no go abandon say or ma bina or unpopular.
I think what Togbe did, he deserves a lot of commendation. And that particular thing now, it was some symbolic token to the state. He was sending us a message. Say at this time, I see a tenancy, and we do a lot.
Because I'm paying salaries, so I know I can the whole Ghana will be the whole
yes. Because so in Semna okay, that message sikana or the buyer he sending us a message. He said, "Oh, baby, I always see here. It must not always be about individuals, about us. It must be about the collective good of us all. Because Minya, Obi Equire Council of State member, Makase, with all due respect to individual Council of State members, I have a lot of respect for them because some are chiefs, eminent Ghanaians and prominent Ghanaians. But I'm saying that the portfolio is a useless thing.
As far as Omojuma is concerned,
it's a useless thing. I'm for so being so in the first place. After saying there is no need senka obibo kwa tenase kra say obi a council of state nti pay as gratia. It doesn't make sense in any way because say obi a council of state, I don't know other things that they do, but what we know is per the constitution their job is to cancel the president, and a lot of the decisions, appointment and for that is the primary way they are more. You know very well say advice is never binding on anybody. It is a nipano yes jumana. Admit class it is good. Yet any panaka allowance is in a for and second. What is the rationale? Say after say nipana yes jumana we and a part-time job. Nipana yes jumana we no work for over billions of Ghana cedis. Unko jino unko di
over 1.6 billion.
Because why or two are mindful. That particular advice and any binding. Ajumana all ye no yetuanaka. Yes, the man. How senseless can we be at this particular point in time? So Togbe was only sending us a message. It is about time for us to take a critical review of this whole thing, because that particular payment, is inappropriate. That is the word that he used. So Kwajidia, and so we should bow your head in shame. But I don't know why. When do we have teachers out there? Obia tried there for 40 good years. All coffee, the lab sum of the man, around 50 million. Obi a 60 million. Oji a woda we hobe kwa ko. But obi a council of state for a period of 3 years or ye na juma part time. Like almost a month. Now what I'm saying, how senseless can we be as people? And we do all this in other areas. MPs upon all the goodies, ya tonta adia mo, ya tissue mo, otukwanya per diem ni na se for no, ya dinina mo. In the end, nipa no kofi ane ya satam huge sum of money. Ya see, because of you no, they are not entitled to say okoye adwuma foforo. Unim MPs or only businesses, chains of businesses. Some don't even go to parliament.
Big businesses now. And they are not share.
So why can't we do the same way? Public servant be as a sikana rebato senate and investment will be real. Why are we doing this to ourselves? So at the end of the day, so be a consultant that pay rules. There is no motivation. So what you know and also chrono
ono oni as gratia senate na okwa ono ani sika ne
ali enti nipa na ono so te blood bank ho a omo no jeje moja no obi di sika command say me pe moja to akwa nya command ya o ma na 1 million obaje because at the end of the day no there na enti why dem say wakotwe moja ma obi no obi akwa akoto e de kwa ye fairness ayi sika duro obabi what wa afun na what I say. So how do we do it in such a way so we can empower everybody? Say, baby, obia, teacher ni ana honsono, doctor ni ana honsono, nurse ni ana honsono. Na enquire say, I just want to be a politician, and I say, I bind the to baby. Ever say, or mind and it's the reason why still I'm for a coup just to get into politics because I acquire council of state, which is a part-time job. The job itself is a useless job. And nipa no koya, you go for over billions, some billions ye the money teacher ni be upon child dey be life you know ye. Why are you doing to yourself? So the argument is o mind ni sika na say ni sika o. Ye wo sika but ye wo few individuals ayasada ye twa power no ho hia na ye chama mo. And na ye twa no so ignorant and so charged individuals. Ye na ye twa na ye boje o mo so say ba ye betena say say no. At this point in time there are a lot of defects in this 1992 constitution. We need to holistically embrace that particular fact and say, okay, let us review. A position, a monument structure, and the politics is a rush hour. Everybody is moving in to make money. Or public sector, you can make it. What I say, Akufo-Addo told us, not by mobile. Now, person will make it. Person will make it sika and the private sector. Do you know what they have done? So the people have now turned government to the private sector. So they are making money there. That is what they are doing. So business in Ababe, your friend is a government in Ababe business, and people are making a lot of money out of it.
Ivan, per my analysis, I'm a year. It is a we teacher ni now basic salary 1,500 no. Se ubenya sika Council of State in Asia, I just why juma 90 years.
Exactly.
We registered nurse, I just why juma 57 years.
Yes.
Se we lecturer and as a doctor, I just why juma 27 years.
Yes.
And sana Council of State member and 4 years is kano. On sa etumi aka. Etina se a na eno e calculations we nyina enti enyansa fo hwe.
That is great.
Eno ya anajo. And am yes calculation no. Enti wo hwe Council of State in Ibiano over 1.6 billion Ghana cedis and are ordered within 4 years.
Yes.
So 4 years since teacher ni benya say sikana, teacher ni 1,005 benya say sikana. I just say why juma 90 years. Registered nurse, I just why juma 57 years. We doctor, we lecturer, I just why juma 27 years. And some work me say carry.
So that is how vicious. And yeah, Kufuado buy and our buy no Council of State. A arrangement which means among for mu cookie this whole power structure and say and few individuals and I think that is the reason why we need a bipartisan approach. Commitment on the part of everybody. Say at this point, we have realized that this is a sick thing, and I think that is the message Togbe was sending. He was not just sending that message to Ogufuado. He was sending that particular message across the political divide, whether you are NDC, whether you are MPP. Say our your friends, emolument structure is so sick to the extent. Say we will be a part-time job for just 3 years. When other people, I know I have a lot of friends who are.
Me was teacher for gratia.
I have a lot of friends who are professors, and I can tell you, so we are 100,000 Ghana. But these are individuals that in their entire life, or more committed learning, say Ghana will be a better place.
Why a professor there 40 years?
40 years. 100,000 Ghana citizens. Now, Obi Eba your friend say Council of State for just a period that timita over 1 million Ghana citizens and yeah tamamano. And because several say better they don't give a damn about wow complain wow win juma because asika we an account my dey no hia biem na yere ne na my time no mo do mu school abochire na what ya na wudi hia forever. I think that we have to be rational. Nyesa kasa na ye pe o nipa na ye te o man mu no ya kire se ye nim nyansa. That is the first point. Enunti politicians na tenance ya say nkofo o mu nim nyansa ntino, let us play them, and they are playing us because which other way does it make sense? Just put it on the table and just analyze. Does it make sense? So Togbe was only sending a message to everybody. Say, this is a time for us to wake up from our slumber. This political way, nipa the same because na buying power or because this particular thing is a sick thing. Let us do it in such a way. Say, baby, obia no nipa je obeyi na kumo me juma. Oko US and other places even a more football and a pakra and you joa onim say the SN and Sabaka people come here and they build. Why is that yes sikani nyina ko gufako ana yesa da editi ankofobika and consistent no mo no muyeye sikano so munya no mo de to japade wa manone na yeti ana yehwe. I think that the youth of this particular country, this is the time for us. It doesn't matter which party is in power. System now in such a way say a reward few. And it's not rewarding based on any meritorious criteria. It is about the cronies you have. It is about the affiliations you have. It is about the associations you have. If you na go school na unima there na we professor na we there obi amfa wonya hwe na kroma obi ye silekun kra social media. Nipa ya betam oman sika da toka ama no na ye se won so obi nim nyansa obi bua no obi kra fa ho. What I say?
Okay. About a quick one on this. O share a Council of State said they kind of modumane say on betu o mampanyifo based on the decisions and appointments and the policies are there. O share the economic crisis na Council of State for the two o mampanyifo. Would you say is it a bad advice na modem o mampanyiti no man it say and also mampanyina nkasa na in a form of be pride and as a being arrogant entina the state of the economy is like this. We have to be a Council of State for the moment.
I said that particular thing, that machinery is useless because in the first place, some of the reckless decisions that Akufo-Addo has been taking over the years. Some of the decisions are such that what in China crack to a crowd in China say decision we are ye taking yansa nim. When your Council of State do. Unko school unkra professor unkra certificate but what in China crack to a crowd dim say adia president na omampanyini decision you mu take ade nyansa nim now the catcher as a way a council of state who know to abide for aren't you ashamed of yourself? So what can the honorable thing to do is to resign. Somebody bet me civil integrity, but you have no says integrity, value, principle, morality, and as a for no yamfa nya adwuma. Enti say obi ma power. Na say ofa we crown or better say amana fan because power is everything because omu hia sika. That is the mentality. So I think that it's so shameful. So individual will just avail themselves for such huge sums of money, and I think that it's a wake-up call for all of us. Situated the discussion, and it's unfortunate that you have some of these dogs on leash, this media cabals, in the various platforms, you know, trying to say, even the Togbe and politics now. You say, how come people be so narrow-minded? Nobody is saying that Kufuor buy the OTS gratia at the Council of State. It has been there for a very long time, but now we are telling them that it's a sick practice that must end. So, Sagana for Neka as a reasonable government and any power amplify the voices of the people. No, this is the message you send to people so that at the end of the day, no, we review this whole thing once and for all. Say by wherever Obia find himself, no, people will feel comfortable and service their country instead of say Obia want to troop into the political arena because a honest ikawo, ya be me DC 4 years, me we ye, ya be me minister me we ye, ya be me say me we ye, and then national security crown, I want for we ye. How can we address the challenges? And we are not solving any problem. Lessons are after independence, you know, yegusu and yensuya. So that by any betumpong. And I'm saying you're weak. Now we are not ready to accept responsibility, you know, and nyame. God is not coming to solve any problem for us until say we make a conscious effort. Now you wake up from our slumber and begin to be reasonable and sensible. Say problems we are not problems, and until say we make an effort say yes solve no, we will be here. Say nyamebo we have how many years in here? Over billions of years in here, according to archaeologists. Over billions of years in here, but we are still here. Now we be young because ye nimnyansa, and until say we make an effort say you be question what has to be done. Now you say we are here the right thing, no? Because there is no motivation on the part of any politician or the papa bill. Because politics, democracy structure now a favor short-termism. And you know 4 years. And so about policies in Niama betting about the next 4 years. That is what they do. But for the future, nobody cares. It is the reason why education is not a priority. Other healthcare don't answer for you will be a priority. Now when we do elections, or the Sikaba immediate gratification would not when or satisfaction, then in the end you suffer forever. Let us be reasonable, let us wake up. It doesn't matter who is in power. And you who said until say young can fix a problem, no, God is never coming to solve anybody's problem. Meaning
truth must be told. Me a picture be your but the Bible show na ya hwe ho asem. Answer na no beba no. Me say manfo bi say Avraham me show Avraham just last Tuesday, every Tuesday and Thursday Avraham e wo fie ha. Tuesday 9 a.m., Thursday 9 a.m. and then now say Avraham and Ivan. But you see me no ka say Avraham wa be cut traffic mu kakra. Enti oni a communicate say wa cut traffic enti onam kwan so a oba enti onam kwan so ba just a matter of traffic kakra bi na e delay enti Avraham ben Moshe enam kwan so e ba obedu ya or join the discussion enti mo amu bi say mo come fantom ye last Tuesday no wa ha every Tuesday or ha every Thursday wa enti Avraham beduru ya onam kwan so ba say the America no obedu ya Avraham join na ye no so atwa enkomototwe so na me ka say Avraham ba ye hwehwe e de akọ YouTube enti sisi make sure say obe subscribe to the YouTube channel no say the be ya oba ya obetumi anya na fast na so ahwe bie ukọ YouTuber no abo Active TV GH obo Active TV GH na share so logo no anase ahyensode no any red and white eye eno any Active TV GH logo no okwa o subscribe wie ya na so mi a subscription button wie na ubon se adoma bi bell bi eda nchen mi abel ne so umia so abon se ebeba na umia ne so Avraham tena sia hitting screen no live YouTube now so wetumi anya tim show oba ye ko YouTube di kan subscribe ansa na wetumi aba abetena se na bibia so etumi aye kama nti every Tuesday every Thursday Avraham e wo fia so na Ivan Kyei innocent every Thursday on Ivan Avraham ena etenase a manka tell say Avraham enam kwan so ba traffic akra bi ntie nche bia obetumi abedu ase ne de nkomotwetwe no etumi atoa so Picture no. Ivan,
Yeah.
your picture be your University of Education whenever.
Yeah.
You draw Air Force and our label parts. You this as a picture no ever hono more. Fatu so MIA. Na menfa Ivan a take on that. NTBI kofa ba be phone lines and yeah ho bo atwen Avraham no ye be phone lines no. Now so do adwenkyere etumi aba hye ne so. Nti producer say picture no e ha Ivan picture no e that screen no eso no. University of Education whenever we exams or much on a draw Air Force.
Yeah.
The other was a more a label part.
I think that I saw this thing on social media yesterday. I probably posted it on my Facebook page because of social media and sometimes some of these things, but people post it for fun and you might think that it's not true. And I tried to get in touch with people just to say and confirm, but I think I had the label on it, speaking to it, clearly I trust that it's coming from a university and creative art. Or because I call creative art in honor some of these things and no more. But you see, you can't creative art. One of the areas here, opposite who training the mind. The mind na kasasa be obetim e de aye bibia. Ho ene start free. Because creative no estimate out of your personal ingenuity. One kasa wadwen no how obetimi e de adwene se wo de aye bibi. That is why I told you say okoba bia you start obi de coding akra no behunu no na onim nyansa. In the beginning, you're training those things, and then you just lay the blocks for the person. They're going, you don't guide them again because they have the ingenuity, they have the your friends saying the basic things on their own. They build upon it. But you see, some of these things are a common practice within our educational setup. Growing up, me no okay those days. Ben ya kofa bebe abeto draw bebe na show in the past. Yeah, a man for draw bebe for 50 years. I show in the past. In the end, nothing has come out of it. And I was beginning to think, saying, "Maybe I drew. I had advances in technology and so forth. Some of these things, how do we link it to the technological industry, the emerging world now, Sabaya, encourage because obi draw shoe. Now I lay in the past and then as for the big question is it's not just about knowing and as for the significant essence and say that you link that particular thing to the emerging market. In knowing these things and knowing the functions, how do you position it within the world that is emerging? When that particular world triple at a fast pace. Artificial intelligence taking over the world. I think that it's really it comes back to tell us that there is the need for us to have a critical look. I don't want to dwell on this thing alone, but have a critical look at our educational system. Your curriculum, sure. Last time I catch you, say I drawn over the years. You know, I say when I went to nursing training college, you started for your friend is saying human anatomy and physiology. It is a very interesting thing. Instead of a baby, at the early stage, we can even introduce kids to human anatomy and physiology because human body and anatomy is such that in the next 100 years, it's still relevant. And when you know some of these things, you see, when you are learning about health and then as a form, very easy because when you understand the structure, the functions, the physiological, your friend said, a body, if I say, yeah, you want as a form. Onam, I say, what is our left baby? You know, say, me lever whole problem. Onam baby now, who say, problem or how you say organ win or and so at the end of the day, onam na say accident the because of the knowledge now, unyanko hospital and call
you have
but
the
because
basis.
of say instead of say we draw now we did draw nipa we are quite conversant with the human framework structure and obinya accident even how to do basic resuscitation krano man oko advanced countries na sa nema na we for na no first aid training na say for no part of syllabus kira nkra school nti onam na say ni nua enya problem they know how to resuscitate the person. Ghana has accident this year. Do you see what people do? Accident this year, sometimes you need to put a person in the left lateral position. Somebody ne breathing airway na open obetimi ahomena onwuno. Unkona kwabra ne kwa camera jana video to social media because he doesn't have any knowledge as to how obetimi here to save the person. A lot of people die out of because among for anko resuscitation na se for. So instead of wasting some of these things, yes draw bebe ye draw debe nsem hunu sa emfaso bia ni so no. Why don't we put it into something substantial forever and ever? No, we are not getting away from it. What I say, and 5G technology, 4G technology, and so forth. These are and making the world where we are. People are advancing. Yeah. Do you know that some of the African countries are making effort? Bas. Bas I can say get to Rwanda or some other countries. Or more bases. And if you want to do some of these things, it must start from the universities. What knowledge? Shoe na or more draw pass and then your friend is saying your car. Even phones, countries are making effort up technology. People are doing a lot because you see that is the order of the world today. So one can't be a people are advancing and then best started out from your schools. When you first training the basic I had the man for and they are crying sometimes they have their foundation, you know. So taking off is not a problem. But see, near my way, I move school about whole university graduate. How relevant can they be in this area with this job market? Because we are among China, and they are not going to look for a job in America. It is this job market, and so be it me draw shoe, draw on a passer. And all the bagana ya makola market ya how relevant is that? What I say? And answer drone. And corporations in the industries now bar obi free university bar they don't value the certificate because I say chiu ampon is a buno mukosunya. So a man for we deal for retirement as a moko creating space for others, you know. Companies, you know, by retaining at the expense of a man for free university. Sure. Because on him say school no free banner for so be and so because we've not been able to link our university education, the curriculum, no, to jobs that are available on the job market. There is a huge disconnect. So Nippon free school bar. Job marketing is a new arena. He doesn't know a thing about it because things he learned at the school. Archaeology, then I say for no, what's the Ghana who's archaeology? Egypt, very relevant because they have a lot of artifacts. Ubeti to for more find about why ye. But Ghana has a so Ukusians and the manners what they train a job market higher. Yes, I'm 20 now. I'm Saint Ruben from Bema Camp. Man, how I wish I'm there with you. I would have hugged you. I want to think of it what you see. We say good morning, Active TV. Tell Ivan that I just fell in love with him. But hey, I'm not a gay. He speaks my language and shares my sentiment. He's a learned colleague. Too much sense go kill Ivan. I tell you, I can give him the right words to describe that greedy bastard belly full Poladom, belly full Poladom Oche, who lost his credibility long time ago. Now children in Japan primary schools are far relevant than him. I say, good morning, my name is Simon. Please, Paul is nothing to write home about in this country. So those are the comments. I said when I hear messages in the Bible, NTB also you will be a phone lines, you know, and now also wait to me after. But you see in the WhatsApp any text messages on I have 0503 236 735 0503 236 735 number on the screen is WhatsApp and a text messages are holding in a pabran and say NTB Avraham ben Moshe and I'm counsel about NTB about be drew ya. Near the commercial channel, to me, to us. And myself, Abraham Eban, your best say, Eddie, I call YouTube, and T overcall YouTube page or not like Active TV GH, Active TV GH. Ya sense the and I say logo no, a knee make an eye red and white, and a daho. Oka now subscribe to the page in Ubiya, Michelle, making sure say, I don't mind a dance and bell on Ubi Miaso. Umiasoa, now Ubi say, oh, a bit to me about now they are to all, they be adano. Ivan and Avram etenasi I hit screen now on sabet me aka baby will be an so active media and active brains consultancy services at the 6 months AC over broadcast journalism, newspaper reporting, writing, newscasting, graphic designing, MCR, camera handling, makeup, you know, bet your any lighting system. Enti obefa numbers in the movie na say 6 months training na what to media my registration and I say forms no 50 Ghana cedis fees in so ya chemu mienu a
utia half open say na open say medical catch say 10:30 boy first 10 people are mobedi can affair number na that screen is on 0503 236 735 first 10 people are modi affair sa number no mudumadi bia mudi bia mudumadi bia na be ma mo ho ebe na matumi abo ho dawo open say na open say mami emie phone lines no na ye ne Ivan Kyei innocent ento ankomo twetwe ne so nti sabe de obetumi afa na so de wadwen kire de wo kan bia atumi aba me so enye didi atem enye kasa twetwe eye adwuma ene so man ne be yi ho asem ne ye kan nti fe o fra make sure say u TV volume no obedum no ana se obepia free bia TV ne wo no na de phone na ankasa atale waso na etumi adi nkomo mentie wo TV ne so obefe number na that screen no eso no 0503 236 735 0503 236 735. Ofra, okay, mommy, any can for me first caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Producer, I'm sure mommy, studio monitor volume, Nikakra. Would you know be a cassette?
I found a cassette adenta.
Okay, it's you.
Well, to say Ghana, I didn't quasasem. Quasasem and Casan lady. Nantiana Casa University. I think I started to almost a year and I name back. And you stand and I say, may say I am good to now. Maybe you did Sabbath on a concert in Southern University now in corporate education. Yeah, then what's that? Come to me, International University by this time, a young person I had drawn shoe, and shoe pack. I say, now, see university, I've been seeing a shoe and I say, oh, that's a shoe yet. And our shoe part, yet on a different, I will become market. I call Semicoto Emma, Micoto Patsy, Micoto Patsy, the other Emma.
Okay, on so now between so after 0503 236 735 TV no volume no di hia me pa low no anase p free baby a TV no e wo no nefa phone ankasa tare waso ne hwetwe nkomo 0503 236 735 ofra e betwetwe nkomo Avan ayentu aso we this whole issue ni na akwete said o hwe kola na ka no your education system, maybe a year pushy akono. Do you think it is going to help the country in the near future?
You see, say on my way, the first thing has to do with enlightenment. Enlightenment, in just a degree and a certificate. Bamum, yebe move away from such those primitive things now. And Adibia will try to wrap up. Obiti we make effort so the be ye no by before na ya me no we akwaji through.
Hold on. Hello, good morning.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, but your man is a crowd in the Akasa free.
Make a friend call me Kasa Blekuma.
Okay, it's you.
Na issue na da ho no. Sisi ano mo si yen ye djuma boutique na say eno no on patch because on my way you no you tell you me iska aya de foforo abobla na say mo akofa lazy say shoe ya beto say yen le bu no patch I don't know say me say dem class ba po I don't know mo betimi a che mu gaka.
Okay yeah, answer was say ultimate fair University of education we neighbor a whole university and a shoe and no label pass and no more about in future generation no 0503 236 735 0503 236 735 okay yam for hello good morning.
Hello, good morning.
But we didn't have a free network wasem so
yeah but you did Nicholas my person Madina.
Okay
yeah me at Kenya I'm a charge of West Africa School like Uber here is school to Tiana. At a school, no, you power of school from the kitchen. You can school in a food, a day in a say. Until you can't be Buama school, I use Dankatano and co. Who did want to go Kokata? And only a cap. Now, this cap will see a sort of Danya. Sebi. In Kolanko and the Bissau war class crown almost in a Sebi, Mountain, that in any. I don't know if it's so very high. What's that? Then Kolana, you know, a telephone, a queen, and so president. I don't. It's maximum percent becoming. The thing that you know, personal contact don't come.
Okay. Mateo, the number na that screen is on our befa. Your point you made na our fair later. I actually come on said you can why. the same number now our friend keep near upon 0503-236-735. Michelle, okay, young for hello, good morning.
Good morning.
If I told you we are cassette free, network was so.
If I saw make a selfie, member come.
Okay.
If I saw Mr. Alvin, me pena sempa, send ye all Casano, many jumpa, Uncle Suano, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I say Ivan Koswana, yes, and I can't create 0503-236-735. Me see YouTube, na echo subscribe to the YouTube channel. Me show you an intent, this is here. As I feel and come to channel, Edru Honomo, na I feel I'll be bisha 0503-236-735. Uko YouTube na, your sense of the end once again, a knee and I say I, red and white logo, and I hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Udini be akase free.
But your family, Nana and some akase free ablukuma.
It's you.
You better match Jumadia Mode Ebo on my Ghana. Na National Cathedral. You seem to say, Omani incident could be Yama or mine. They say, Cathedral we see as a tourist center and corporate visit. This I would say. The tourist center is like a walk room. And then I am young Sua, a bit me and my foreigner, a babyshe, not like your study a woman. And then Puna, Yay, also because one time I don't know what is wrong with our leader. I don't know. And one thing is because of their selfish interest. Because only in this case, Kemamini, let's bring the project here. At the end of the day, no, they can't do it, but they can't build it, but can all because of say near Peniful any man said Yeniska, on my ultima, on my penny, motor a bank, our outside. Because I say, Ogun never told down, but you're told down, you go with your investing. Okay, corner will be so maybe that's enough. So watching children news 0503-236-735 0503-236-735. YouTube once again. Active TV GH. Active TV GH. Me show betroni na album. Na say logo ne de. E ma refi. O hwe o TV na wo hwe ne so a. Logo na e da o top right na soro no saa na wo kwa obi hu e wo YouTube. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Udini be akasa fi network wasem so.
Me pacho me dindi samo me kasa fi insumia. Program na mo ye no a very educative program, and also no anope me share program about National Cathedral Bible. Woman be fair your catch say you couldn't know what you are talking about. Na all the we said it. They would give me for any answer for crew issue because the name ko in e you are talking not all the way. The Nipani ye no answer. And some of the media houses no can no cry once the matter which was a move by or my Ghana. They do money no cry no omonka no matter trans no almost didn't so much boss share Bamia betra TV sign from a car to Kumasi my boss is me Hana me obeshe so Beshe said the crown will say you don't think about Ghana, you don't care about Ghana, but self the move the youth muskegum bottom share you levi some akosiaba. Boss, even voted Ghana card almost yenye. Boss, 2 months let me control me the almost on the from Miko Hano Pomaka say yan is not almost say why we for. Boss, in the time when the bedroom is on the Ghana card, my register missing me was move block seems very soon. My bemune it says Munju mine na Nyankopon so be ti omuka baku so omusu da munim say nipa da mutem we omu sacrifices into omusu Nyankopon omusu hwi.
Okay, that answer I say also konsa we ma yes ya yensa we mu kwan no but baby anya 0503 236 735 0503 236 735. So okay, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We didn't be akasa fi network wasem so.
But me kasa free dance soma.
Okay, you too.
Yamisha do kan ho pa. Say was what is 100 Ghana ha. Me sure say Ghana be koyi. Now so
Your resources be organa ha ye hu de empeni for any resource me ye organa ha ye breast am ukwa brocha aden check temperature hospital obia wo bi wo fie but Ghana ha no asa na we take you temperature no just wo call hospital paucho mo ka empeni form so mo ho ye mobo kakra na ye bre nyame nshira no.
Okay, yes we take temperature as we call hospital ye discussing so kwa kwesi cathedral so we differences na we show differences na. Was about time that from schools are say no textbooks and teacher for home bibia ukromo aye basa ye de kwa kosi eye cathedral 0503236735. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, we didn't be akase free.
From Peter, we akase free la pass.
Okay, it's you.
Yeah, cathedral na mo kan wa 7 person me kan so kakra. Presenter na mo video no ni video ba no. No, guys, I saw it down. I went over to my cathedral. Ebet ma seviye. Na kupon ko ayewi, I can't say. Hello?
Meteo yanko.
Yeah, na kupon ko do baby no. Ofidi nko for 5,000. Ayewi. Pacho to menka.
Meteo.
Yeah, ofidi nko for 5,000 ayewi. Enti government do mo na mo pese mo boan no. Dream pa penufo diablo ikonya benu diablo momusho na munye me akwa pon komunye diside na MPP for no kwenfi na ye hontoye.
Okay. Okay. 0503-236-735 0503-236-735. Hello, good morning. Okay, want to me nyina so na me ka say YouTube na nche bia Abraham eba be kan sa what you say into YouTube no make sure say obe subscribe na yenko subscribe YouTube no subscribe. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, we didn't be akase free.
From this is because I feel say am say.
Okay, mind you.
Me that's a panage my palm way.
Okay.
Me pa cho me say cathedral na akwa ko no say omu si no cathedral na ejuma sen na ebetimi ama youth. Number 2, mpacho ye kwan ye wo afiama to my answer pa omo hwe number ye my.
Okay. Na me sure so. Okay. 0503-236-735 0503-236-735. Once so fair. The far join today it to me ebra. So now me ka say subscribe to your YouTube channel. As I say every Tuesday Avraham Ben Moshe e wo fia ha. Sasna every Thursday Avraham Ben Moshe and Ivan Kyei Innocent omumienu na e wo fia ha. Enti one subscribe to the YouTube channel na. Mama fa kola wimra. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, and this one subscribe to the YouTube channel now. Ebi adebi oho na wuni fie na wo abonten but now pese o hwe dwumadi no ebi na pese o tie nkomotwetwe no ebi na wo nsa entumi anka. And subscribe to the YouTube channel no. Na o subscribe ya na notification button meche adoma na oho no watumi emia auto all. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
But o dinu be akase free.
Your friend me Junior me Kwame.
Okay, you tell me.
Mekasafi in sound.
Okay.
Mr. Who's patrol. Penifona sisi no omoye omane sa any journalist for na sisi omuso mu defend the penifona ye no. Mebusa say aban chenyi a o metimi atena oman we mu ana se dey.
Okay.
Because I na madwen me say omo no I no mo te residential area I nyom ne ahiafo na tintinu de omo kasa to mo protection bi for you because it's oman me hu say me ametensa me so man titi asoku with petrol and others you say no oman nya hia manches aji buma me ni baby obi abefa. Okay.
Okay, on Sunday no mama fa me last caller. My last caller na me call Ivan ho yentu ankomo twetwe no eso 0503-236-735. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
About you dinu be akase free.
Amidi person.
Okay.
I'm Kasafro Manjo.
Okay, yeti o na your last caller yenko.
Okay. Pacho Cathedral semna yekano. Na ya asafo for pedifona omudi sa cathedral tidan omuma na ebreko asori na komudi yenu Omu ebe hu am saying. Eya mi dwini ho am ntia se. Se eye asori aye ya amu na musu ye asofo na mu gina o ma nyankopon. Ena nyame man mu bre. But no ka samusu mu di we ji se mu ko se cathedral. It's almost didn't say that I think would do Hana. Yo.
Okay, yeah, last call, I don't know. You intimate for phobia, ABM. Ivan Chainus and before no, me see YouTube no, cause one subscribe Active TV GH. Yeah, essentially, and I say look out be who say Active TV no. We show TV no so top right corner so unsa any faso sa no we share essentially and that Active TV logo na sa and that YouTube or to YouTube na about Active TV GH who essentially na subscribe we are adoma na da ho no me aso never to all say the be adane dey nyina no ye discussion no eba so life unsa betimi aka bi na me di kan ka we biem so say every Tuesday 9 a.m. Avraham Moshe ewa ha every Thursday 9 a.m. Ivan Kyei innocent any Avraham ewa ha na because of traffic asema na make kan ho asem no say traffic etumi ache Avraham Moshe kakra traffic etumi ache no enti hye so say Tuesdays and Thursdays bia no Avraham Moshe wa ha Thursday bia so Ivan Kyei innocent wa na traffic no etumi ache Avraham mame ko Ivan or quickly and some yaka the National Cathedral yaka amount mu bashi Togbe Afede concerning the release back of Kyei the man as gratia grace period ni na any yahwe education yahwe dem da ho but at least shoe ba compared to me am the whole education system of the country how are you jeopardize with it wrap it up within 5 minutes.
The DK must start free journalists the money opportunity to interact with the public. Exactly. You see, I have seen a lot of ignorant, uninformed people who sit behind the microphone. And because so free university paying, all of a sudden when they sit behind the microphone, even though they're expressing their opinion, they arrogate to themselves certain authority, as if say they are the warehouse of intelligence. And whenever they speak, everybody should shut up. It is that particular attitude. And the Babedu Krumanti Nkofokobia from Hako Tena Radio business say, Amunomunim Yansa, they are the voice of the nation of Mokasa. Everybody should shut up. And now one misleading or minor in doing all these things, their motivation has been always their stomach. And then about who journalists are, where you expect them to just confront government. Me say journalists elsewhere, I say nsam no ba mututu na sere ene abasa. That is why I told you about a firestorm of an eviscerating media. A media, your only allegiance is to your conviction and to the people you serve, not to power. You don't become a leash like a dog to power. Your allegiance is to the people. So your job is to help enlighten people, educate people. You don't even take decision for people. Lay bare before them the fact and help them to make informed decisions. Just like I have been a counselor before. So Obi back counselor now. Oba, you don't. Is any person called HIV tester? You don't force the person say, HIV test. You rather lay bare before the person the consequences and the importance they need, and then you help the person to make a choice. And yes, I'm not sure, but you are supposed to provide the person all the necessary information. I will be here just to make you guide the person to make an informed decision. As a media, that is what you're supposed to do. But you don't take the center stage and pretend as if say when I wear the warehouse or the warehouse of intelligence. They are over canon, and then there will be a swallow. And then I'm one driving here, the baby through baby, and never see your mind in this way. And Kaya Buama, your church or mine. Or my Peninsula or Kosi Cathedral, our cathedral and the personal agenda. Ghana for your agenda near cathedral. Ghana near agenda, and I say, Nkromo University, Umbenya Jumaya. Yesuku never children crana the papa or mobile relevant within this particular territory. Yes. China is doing it in such a way that the school no beginning no more US school siyamba no or more adopted the Chinese model and they are coming out with a lot. Huawei, Samsung for take you Asia na apart from say Japan by the powerhouse in terms of technology, and then South Korea also so because of Samsung company, no, or more Samsung phones, no, but China saw that thing as a challenge, and then they came out with Huawei and several other Chinese phones, and or more give them a lot of competition. At that level, that is how countries are going. 5G by China is making a lot of advances. Oko US most of the companies in Yasha say you run out, but there is an unseen competition between them. Obia tries or say men are significantly no men are medical completely me 5G technology and the whole stuff. Why are we so comfortable in this primitive Stone Age era? We are people countries the US and I said for the cathedral I told you about Notre Dame. It was built in the 1163, old, over 100,000 years ago. We are here today in the 21st century where advances are being made in technology, being made in sciences. Among for and laser surgery is the way to go. You see, a lot of advances, but we are not intimidated. We are not ashamed. At this time, problems because we are not ready to think. We are not ready to use our head. There is no foresight. There is no motivation. You have to know. It is about money. And do not be correct as I say. You see, people are not sensible. Elsewhere, people look at you, the value you have, and even somebody will even empower you to do more. Because Makacha said, in building a nation, you don't need professors in the PhD. Country economy banner PhD professors in a building. You need individuals who are daring and they are so very passionate. I want to do something. And the inventors of 1 year near we are seeing nipa because for you to be able to think freely, you need freedom. One casa on your own, you can come out with something. So those individuals, most of them cry a school dropout now because they had a vision. And in realizing that particular vision, if you want to go through the system, you can't. So they have to just jump over the system and on their own. What is it no be a PhD holder? What is it no be a professor? So it means that in building a nation, obia matter, obia who here. Nipa no gina trotto moton pia water and who here. By others yet create opportunity incentive for obia. A honor can even who obia some faso maximizing obia potential because there are a lot of people or more crabia say if you have any opportunity cry like wabo chroma and answer incentive can when you have opportunity they could have done a lot. But young kasa using the same resources making our people poor and majority of people will become rich. How unreasonable can we be? I think that is about time a young who said Oban no bien ho abachichira mayen yen se dem mo mpaye my beda so na Ghana yes ye fan say Miami and I say yes Washington say ye bebo mpaye 40 days ye beda so no man cry time. We need to reorient ni ye hu say it is the effort, the collective effort never betimi aye ye be show man no mu no and na be mo man na tumpon ye suku na ye man na da achen and school na ato baha and craft school by Nansa Sembian why now Babco school university. So we to school fees a manner or could draw shoe dear. Now what time you watch it no form class and campus also called just as a manner and cocoa so yeah for so baba. You go free school about for so be any so or bab abe way, but yeah if we are able to equip them with something or bab on tia, that ingenuity will show them the way what to do on their own. They become resourceful and they can do a lot or in least help people be. But I know people who went to the university, they study this different technology, programming and so for computer a lot. But when they come out, they can't be used for anything, nothing. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Okay, this the progress of this particular nation, your future, and they're saying economic front, whatever front, me say, yeah, on our own. Let us admit you failure. Let us not blame back for 65 years after independence, Nasa and so shiri, Nasa crying to choke no be anything in we should be ashamed. And this of mine will be about just my talk and I heard then. Or mining your failure. Let us work together. They ensure say we put this particular nation on the pedestal will be a beton. Okay. We are hotona, and a bit like I say we are wealthy. Okay, America no because are wealthy. Not wealthy because on because of two
environment, you know.
Neighbor no did onusu did obi e. Ba unkwa na wo sika no watoka ba 40 na wo dem na wo next door neighbor ahi obi ana de obedi omo yara hospital community bi nkwa wo enyansani a sa sika na wo no mfa so obi ani so.
Meba ma wa drop it ansa na yakona Avraham Moshe asende message sisi a or say looking at baby or one sisi e no ontu aha na ontumi ama medu enti ye be hye we de ahwefo ene atifo nyina emfa enche na nyame bo a ye hye mo say Tuesday there whatever I prevent Avraham from coming today no ye be ye ne obeye ne mantem ana ye ne be ne mantem ti nyambo next week Tuesday 9 a.m. Avraham betumi abanti ye hye wa fache last week just recent Tuesday enrechi ya no wa na enen so wo so ba bibi etumi esi kwan se dem kan ti fache say Avraham entumi ama medu a Tuesday obeba show no so ma mefa messages kakra Thursday nso bia no one Ivan etumi wa ma mefa messages kakra na Ivan wa drop ama me or say when politicians feed you this is how you disgrace yourself. Ivan is so right. Paul Ademoche is I said the Council of State members who have taken that money should bow in shame. Common advice that the president will not listen to, and after 4 years they are paid ex gratia. Blah 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 blah, old men and women. Humble as anyway EDF is this Ghana group. Was it, to be honest, now I have realized that Ghanaian leaders are very blah blah. They don't think about the country, the government and its assemblymen. How can an ordinary citizen insult and curse on a video that can go viral to influence children? This is the case. Then what if this is the case? Then what are we teaching our next generation? This all this must stop. And the leaders must also do what is supposed to do of them as soon as possible. If OJKS, she is happy and want everybody to know that the whole chairman Wuntumi has blah blah blah. Okay, I'm sorry if he has a so life isn't complete with her, but okay. So this has nothing to do with our discussion. Ivan, you drop it.
Yes, I think we really need to do a lot. And you see, you to know, Babia Yababedruna things we also need to reorient. Not those your friends said timid culture now, Modia shame when a panini, thought that as a nipedin semuna. Even the courage to confront the cry born at the Ketwa. Tie Council of State ya can. Ayam panimfo a omo mu bi didida omo mu bi didada wo omo ye some are influential individuals are adwuma no mo ye no ye adwuma ka tell say so ni so dada
former chief justice
monthly with your moka allowances na say for etoka sometimes you will give them even soft loans omo kwaje bosia ama nsi hu bi ani so mo send to ya na back. These are the incentives ya dem omo. Now akoye adwuma for 4 years. Na oman sika oman ye ho kire ye say na ya tam sika
over 1.6
billion ade amano. Na nimu they are so greedy, they are so vicious to the sense panyina odwene nipa ho a ebinim ya ahemfo ebinim panimfo sika we de ma we enka de Togbe ye bi na ba ya kasa no sika we de menu ya mensam fata. But nam say they are so greedy, they are so vicious. Sika is all that they care for. They don't care for anybody until they will go for that particular money. Now bana no kra no ba they will be quiet or kasafa why they because ye oka akwa no maka
onya no tam 4 years 315,000 Ghana
akwa na obeka sa no kra na che beka cho so ni ya brand so mu ade na ya tim 60 years ye nko ye nimda so but yenti a mpanifo na ye di omoti ba bi omo ehwe nkra na is because omo ho atomo because nipa be na o rational person me kra na mete na me serve Council of State so na o mama katua na mama ade nyina awie na minim say adwuma na meya na part time na kofa sika bom no de mamia me so will not even be comfortable
na man for be say we na wo na wo anka be na but we have people omo they are even being speaks to them.
You see, money is not everything. Adeba kwa Africans ye nim no money is not everything. It is about the impact you make on others. How betimi amani pa na kasa enya brantie we anka manye say e vulnerable than anything. Me say Kwame Nkrumah ba no one only estate. He rather built an estate for people among for team. Nebuseni wo ho. Ne Kwame Nkrumah ko see estate wo ho. Nkrumah built his estate on the conscience, on the minds of Ghanaians. So forever and ever, among for Kyei no. One out of Rolls Royce na here then.
Personal house na. Personal house aye di hu nyina somebody's dream.
E build there. so nkoma dan no see na japade na oto no oto no nipa adwen o si dan no nipa tim, and that is the greatest legacy you can have. Oko US papa we almost Bill Gates na se for no almost can about 80% goes into charity. Sabe ya empower man for so HIV program not nisika kwasase, malaria now I got nisika kwasase. So the more you empower, the more the money will come, and then you go that particular direction. Now my talk car I'm Rolls Royce I'm a new version and you see the weak people, these are the things they celebrate. What are some American? A dine what movie or say oko Israel go sit down 5 you know or that bed me no so that. One who seek any ordinary shoe ne coat to a yard that because sika okoda okobare ebia na one see the crowd win be but
and you say amount for mama for fan say yes say na man enyu but
a kwai na for so obenya no and you see humanity should be our major preoccupation.
Sure.
Humanity say obeya ye nyina betimi aboa na one another ye ho beto yi unam krom na si abontena ho even enkra nketo akra ni daache ebinum na nkwan ho esere ye omo mu from krom baba Ghana fo ankasa wom enkra ade obedi kura e ho ayeden obehia ma me ne ba na omo take care osum what I say now mine we ba kofo etimi time mine sika over 2 billion say obi advise you buying for just 4 years
no motivation
one housing deficit a problem I want for you how unreasonable can we be?
How unreasonable can we be as a country? And a bit to me, but American cars, active brains, consultancy services, and active media. Still now training, no forms no egusua, cost 50 Ghana series, bra, never file forms. 90% practical. And active media, broadcast journalism, newspaper reporting and editing, video shooting and editing, graphic designing, camera works, and I feel lighting and any makeup, MCR handling, active media, active brains, consultancy services. Able to me actual about registration forms 50 Ghana cities. Fees in so what chemu you say the amount open say na open say fanamba no and that screen no S1 no na any active media to train come higher and about practicals internship or attachment whatever we are adwuma so are ready at the air because no ye ma 90% practical ye mfa empaboa nkoto blackboard so and ye kire empaboa ne pass ya mo akoda esa unhu empaboa ne ye you better require a fast way, Pabuano. What I say, 90% practical, and to me about that. And Juma, I ready so Edema, our phone number now, will be to me Ajimuchi, who doing now. So, Anna, Michelle, would you maybe be a would be no active TV, you're born who the road amount. Me sorry, number no better, first 10 people are mobile friend. Your mamu huge discount, and you watching in a fair near more near my whole and for amount. Now, me say, YouTube will not like it, not subscribe it because. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, Avraham Ben Moshe, Ivan Chen Innocent, and so Ewufia. It's YouTube near Active TV GH. Okwa be hu ye logo no. Say the logo ne that screen so TV no so no. Sa na be hu YouTube or Active TV GH obetwe ni na album. Red and white eye no eda ho. Okwa make sure say obel follow and as obel subscribe to the page. O subscribe to the YouTube page na. Adoma ne da ho bell no. Me aso notification button be beba all me are all so you are part of the positive family there be other your life on sa able to mention so akabi open say na open say meaning at the Anna Clement the youth advocate there be ameka say truth will always defeat lies many Ivan Chen Innocent and the teaching come and I pay the active morning show the Thinkers House active television ga uduma say in between Pukwase Ablikuma ga uduma say Junction and I able to meda production cleaning na ase Peter Chechebo o share floor no MIA or assisted with production. So na Johnson John Laporta at the sports update it to me every year. Ejini Maji Boating it to me share big discussion no anopa trending issues no so and Nana Ampedu and so to me kind home discussion in Too Sweet the descendant of King Solomon also to me share MCR MNG sound in Amaya Clifford Adombiri the loving boy and I said the lover boy of Active TV also share in social media handles in it to me MIA obi obo be as quiet ene mama abena Fabia Kentemu ina no mutumi ebo abi madwumade ni tumi possible the chena nkasa ehye no na okitestia order ne dan said be aka no ntumi nkonya accident no Apostle General Chama 1 metro so anama sorry the be ada the kan ina ne say the besi bia no o mane yen afache wan kasa say the bia esi a wo de ache yen dada na gi yen na for correnta ban no fa crying so they are chain now or they be crying so no about the positive family said the be other boy home by now no wa shake you na no ewo MC aho etumi ama me whilst you are directing the show me hu ba me hu se we shake you na no nyame sha bebi na de ye bia na de bia fa che na embrace ye na ne man so etumi enkoye ha ene ebetumi edi dwumadi ni na se wa wo fe ye wa want to me amfre ene wa wo hwe ye wo send a message want to me send a message wa wo pepe bia say o man Ghana ebetumi etumpon bia no nyame onhia the bia da said the make no youth advocate ano Clement nyame betu bia ka said the adwuma ECT no wo ye Ghana ni na wonim so ye Ghana ni Ghana moja na wo mu unsusuye ne wa adwene wa adwuma a wo ye ne de wo ye bia wa na mo wa wutuo no se eboa ama oman no akoso a nyame ontua wo ka wa adwuma a wo ye wa na mo wa wutuo unsusuye ne uniema nyina no emwa ema oman no enkoso a nyame ontua wo ka nyame ontua obi aka said the adwuma tie